Dear brothers and sisters, I'm sure all of us gathered here in this Basilica and all those taking part in the Eucharist across the world have sometime or other experienced God's love at different levels. And there are many attributes you can say to God's love. And one is forgiveness. Whenever we have come to Him in confession and ask forgiveness, we have been forgiven. Then why did Jesus say in the Gospel today, something rather strange, whoever sins against the Holy Spirit, he is doomed for life. What is the sin against the Holy Spirit? Have you ever reflected on it? To understand this statement, which of course is true, we need to go back to the context of today's Gospel. You know that in the course of these days, we began reading from different accounts of the Gospel of life. And now this year, year B, we are reading the Gospel of St. Mark, how Mark has narrated Jesus' life. And up to now, you know that Jesus had already come in public life and was preaching and working miracles, including casting out devils from those people who are possessed. This is the context. And when the scribes, not of those local places, of Jerusalem, who are intellectuals, when they heard that this man who is come here and doing good, including casting out demons, they said, this is something different. They are not able to accept that this man is different from the others, that he has a power within him to do all this. So his power, they say, comes from the evil one. There were other people, common people, who understood and accepted God's goodness, this goodness through what is teaching and through the miracles. But these Jews, the leaders, intellectuals, were unwilling to accept God's goodness. That God is working through him to the Holy Spirit. And they said, this man is possessed. Indeed, he was, but with the love of God, not love of Satan. And Jesus says, all those who refuse to believe and accept God's goodness, I'm sure he says, they can't be forgiven, because God is so loving and so affectionate, so warm and so forgiving. I can never say at any time, I'm the greatest sinner in the world. Even I am, and I go to God and say, God, I'm sorry. Jesus, forgive, forget the past, and move ahead. But these Pharisees, scribes, they're blocked, so-called, the entry of God's goodness, that this man is possessed by the evil spirit. And he tries to explain to them, how can you say, accuse me? By giving them parables, and still they cannot understand. Let's accept God's goodness, which comes to us in different circumstances. People, we cannot see God, but we can see His goodness and people to us. Let's accept them. Let's not close our mind and heart to them through our own biases. We have all our biases. As a result, we fail to see God in other people, God's goodness people. Let's open our hearts and mind to God. Unlike the scribes who had put a concrete wall which could not be broken. Jesus tried level best to break that wall, but it never broke because it was so strong. They themselves said it can't be. So let's accept God's goodness, opening our hearts and minds to God, and accept Him that He is all mercy, He is all kindness, He is all goodness. And let's show this goodness to others through our life of deeds.